Okay. So, hello, this is Diced Apples, and today I will teach you Jaguar Falls.
What the fuck?
I don't know, bro.
This is gay apples, dude. Apples.
The main idea is on Jaguar Falls, you've got like 4 main sections, right? Let me use gray here. You've got, gray is not so obvious, but you've got this, you've got this, what the fuck? You've got, wait for it. You've got this and you've got this. Okay?
Yeah.
And the main idea is always to keep 2 circles that are next to each other. So in false flank, you're typically going to take these 2 circles. In sunroom stack, you're going to take these 2 circles. In divide, you're going to put your support. This is a special one where you put your support in the middle. You have DPS and a DPS and a tank. And then with Cassie Fun, you have. It kind of gets weird because the idea is that Cassie runs through here. And then you send. At first, you can do 2 things. You send 3 people like this. And you can choose. Why can't I get a squiggly line? You can. Fucking hell. You can do. That's way too small. You can do this. So basically, Cassie flank is Cassie fun. Sorry, is you send Cassie by herself because Cassie is very good at 1v1ing people. You send your tank here just to be able to scout where they're going, and then give information to the team, and then the rest of the people you send here. And the idea is that Cassie pokes them in the back, so we force. There's probably going to be like 1 or 2 people here, maybe 3, and the idea is we force them back and into a Cassie that can like get the low targets that are running away from us, you know. Then what happens a lot against, or what used to happen a lot against Cassie Fun, was they'd pick a Lex, and they'd do the same thing. They'd send 4 people here, maybe 1 in the middle, and then they'd send a Lex here that waits out the Cassie, and as soon as the Cassie peeks, she dies, you know? And then it'd be like Cassie had to be very careful with that. Another tactic.
But she could go right through mid to dark room and join the rest though.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, the idea is to have your Cassie in the backline to kill the people that are trying to get away, you know? Just to get an angle that can really punish them. If you go send Cassie through the middle, it's a very defensive way of playing it, and you're not going to be punishing low people. They're just going to get healed up, you know? And that's why you send the Cassie over here. You'd play the same way like with an Andro or any flanker. If you're playing with a Maeve, I think Maeve would be better on this side. You do like the opposite. You do like a sunroom stack with a flanker going through falls, just to get behind here and play here and get the people that are trying to get back, you know?
Yep.
Can I get rid of the red lines? Oh.
Yeah, undo.
Shit, what was green?
Undo.
Support. Undo. Alright, so Cassie Fun we kind of talked about. The divide, again, was the damage in the tank. The advantage of that is we saw District 69 do it like a week ago. And what they did was they were playing from this side. So they had their Barrack just standing here and their Fernando standing here. And then they had a DPS with each one. And that way you can read what comes. So they're playing very, what's it called? To like react on what the other team does, you know? Because they had, they were playing against an Andro. They didn't want to let Andro through at any single angle. And that's why they kept the tank in the tank. And it worked very beautifully because Genos can heal through walls. So if they both aggress, Genos can still run around and heal them both, while Dumba couldn't. And that's kind of the same problem you run into a false flank. The false flank is sending 2 people here, sending 2 people down in falls. This was meta like 2 or 3 months ago, I think. And then you'd pressure the connector very hard. And the idea was people that you get a lot of kill potential here, like you do it with a Makoa, you do it with an Ashe, and then you force people in the middle. And then you've got your blaster that has this angle that can really shut them down. Or you've got like a Leon there that with that angle, you know? Sunroom stack. So the name is kind of deceiving because when I say it to my team, they like I'll go stack in here literally, but that's not what it means. What it means is to take these 2 circles, so this one and that one, and typically you keep your blaster because there's probably going to be like the enemy team's doing the same thing. They're probably going to keep a tank around here, and then a blaster is just good to take down shields. And then this area, you want somebody like Cassie that can roll down. You'll do it with like, I saw the pro teams doing it with a Makoa Andro. Navi did that. I think, what other compositions are you going to have? Leon Fernando would do that. Yeah, anyways. So that's basically the basics of each of those tactics. The main thing to keep like when you're playing and it gets messy, you always need some place to run to. And often in other maps, it's the map layout that gives you like a safe place. Like you're standing on high ground, you get poked out, you just run back a bit, or you run towards your side of the map. But here, what happens a lot in like casuals is people don't respect that they have to hold 2 areas next to each other, and then there's nowhere safe to run because it's like everything gets messy. People can easily get behind in Sunroom, then you can't run forward, you know. Do you have any questions, Bullet?
No, I'm just thinking. So basically, you're saying that if we're holding these 2 left circles,
Yeah.
the safety is to run in between them, I guess, where it's on the pillars.
The safety is to run. Oh yeah. I guess, but it depends who you're playing. Your support safety is definitely here. When you're playing a Sunroom stack, it's very dangerous for them to have like a Cassie or Leon come here or a Shalin that takes this angle, and then you got to kind of run into Sun. Another issue that happens with Sunroom stack is tanks are used to playing in Darkroom. So a tank will like go. This is what King did a lot. What's a defensive tank? Blue.
Yeah.
So the idea was that King was always going here. Why is that not blue? The idea is that King was always going here, you know? But really, he had 2... Okay, I'm using blue. He had 2 people. He had Fernando going deep here, because we're doing a Sunroom stack. And we had... I don't remember who. I think it was... Maybe... It was Leon or Cassie, whatever. And the problem with this positioning here is... And then there's like a blaster on the bridge, or like down here. And then you've got your support here that's swapping between here to heal both areas. And the problem with this positioning is that he's only got 1 escape here. If he plays, instead of this deep, he plays here, he can still scout out who's on the enemy team that's going into Darkroom. He's not going to get caught by like an Inara cripple, an Inara wall to knock him off. Also, if he plays here, he can see when to aggress the point much quicker, and then he can come hold this position and hug this entrance. Because this entrance, it's very, you know, your Sunroom is safe. That's like your safe haven, but you don't want to go point too fast either, you know. So this is where he wants to chill out and eventually get to. And if he can set up here, that's very strong for a barrack, because then he can run into Sun, and Fernando's just going to be pressuring this area. And then, so basically what happens is these circles are constantly changing all the time, you know? So at first, it'll be like a Sunroom stack against a Darkroom stack. Say they're playing with Inara, and a Bomb King will do this a lot as well. So I'm going to a
I
race.
perceive it as being dynamic. Like, for example,
Yeah, it
if
changes.
somehow you're getting flanked from falls,
Mhm.
and that puts your support and your blaster into immediate threat,
Mhm.
I guess the two guys that are on the left, like let's say the Lian and the Fernando, should move to the other circle on the right, on the enemy bridge,
Wait, say it again. The
and
Leon
then
and Fernando should move to this circle.
should move, yes, to this
Yeah,
circle,
yeah.
and then your support and your blaster with the barrack should start holding the sunroom instead of
Yep,
your bridge.
yep, yep.
So basically, you're doing a clockwork adaptation based on when if you're
Yeah,
getting flanked or not.
it's not really clock. I guess it is
I mean,
clockwork.
it
You
is.
gotta see like if they don't have anybody here, Fernando will aggress this area, and that means this circle is more dangerous because you can't hold two opposite circles, and that's why you go to this circle because
Yeah,
this one was
exactly.
just
That's
safe.
what I thought that you
And
can.
then when Fernando gets zoned back because he takes a bit too much poke, he goes to this circle, and then you can go back to this circle.
Like maybe you can hold opposite circles if you kinda have a semi-control on the one in the middle.
You
So
can
like
hold,
for example, you might have a Drogos.
yeah,
Like let's say you realize they're gonna go false,
okay,
and you wanna capture the rest of the circles kinda freely. I guess you can put a Drogos or a Cassie on Sunroom, which will be spamming the only entry from false to the
yep,
point,
yep. That's
and
the idea.
set up a barrack on the right circle on dark room, and
I completely agree with
it
you.
could also be like a bomb king could be on the stairs of the enemies for on the entry for the dark room, for example.
Yep. The idea
And the
is,
support is like going all around healing both sides,
yep,
but basically the right one because the Drogo is basically safe there, and you need like your second tank to hold the above circle, the enemy circle, on their
second tank.
bridge. Like a Fernando can be there
Okay,
just to
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure nothing's going wrong,
All right.
and to notify the enemies if they're going through back through their connector, for example.
Yeah.
And then he just retreats to his sunroom
Okay.
or
I
joins
I
the
agree
fight
with
on the
you.
dark room. That
I want to
depends on the
add
shot call.
I want to add things. One more thing. I'm trying to keep it general and not keep it to so much like which champion's going where.
Yeah.
But the idea is, this is what happens when you have 5 people up for both teams, and then you've got one person overextending. He kills him, and then once it's a 4v5, you can capture more circles than the enemy team. And then you zone them
Yeah.
out here while you can still keep your barrack in this place. Zone them out of dark room and have your support on point, and then you hold these two offensive circles, or like this circle and this circle. Always two circles next to each other. And the idea is, the more circles you have, the better, but they got to be next to each other until somebody fucks up.
Yeah.
And I think now we might be good to. I'm thinking maybe we should go watch these circles in a pro match and see how they use them. You know.
Yeah.
All
If
right.
they use them.
Okay. So I hope it doesn't lag too much. I can't move my screen that well. Okay. There we go. So yeah, District 69 on this side. What are they called now? Okay. And
Fanatic.
Fnatic on this side and Navi on this side. You kind of see this is what I was talking about with the divide. Tank here, tank here. They're spotting out who comes from where. They're putting long range DPS in the middle with their support. So the idea is they're playing very defensive, and they're going to react to which circles that this team is taking. And this team is taking also same tactic with Genos in the middle, a tank on this side and a tank on this side with a DPS and a DPS. So right now they're playing very standard. With a flanker, you're trying to disrupt the two circles, but I guess they anticipate them doing this, so they send him with the Makoa at the beginning. And Andrew's got enough damage to be it can work as a straight up DPS as well. So I'll unpause and kind of see what circles they take. Cassie's spamming from far. It's good. So you see, it's kind of like a sunroom. They're fighting with two people there. And they're trying to force this circle. So now they're kind of capturing the sunroom and the middle. But Bugsy stays here. I'm not sure why. I think he's scared of the Cassie flanking. But now he's coming to... So this is a pretty good move by Unbelievable. He makes sure not to go so deep. He just tries to get the cripple to catch outside. Misses it, and then he retreats because he realizes they're holding the dark room and under the bridge here. So this is in the middle of their two circles, you know? This is very dangerous, and he backs off effectively. Then again, they're pressuring this side, this circle, so they pressure it back. You see? And now, this is how you cap the point. This is beautiful on Jaguar Falls. They're holding the point, pressuring and forcing them back. So they've got this circle and pressuring this circle. And in the meantime, they're getting a little bit of free cap once in a while, once they get like healed up and stuff, you know? They take poke, they go on point, take poke, get off of it, heal up. And same thing, while pressuring this. So now they get, yeah, first blood, and this is an important thing. Now you're going to see them taking circles and zoning. So they're going to want to take this circle and this circle. Cassie's going to wrap around here soon, I expect. This is just an amazing hook. But do you get it? They're taking the front two circles, because then it's very hard. If they wrap around and go through dark, they still have time to put the tank that's on this circle here, and then put another tank that was here to the dark room. Do you get it?
No, they stack, of course.
Yeah, they stack. And that's why Theo rushes mid, because he realizes like they're not holding it properly. That's bad, actually. And this is what I was talking about, how Jaguar Falls gets very messy. People can flank you out of nowhere, and you can't really expect it, you know? And this is also what happens because they weren't holding the circles properly. They were able to go through mid because both tanks stacked here. They didn't have kill potential to zone out the barrack backwards, so then the barrack was able to get around them. And yeah, once the game starts going a bit, shit gets messy, and you're still like reacting on shit, you know? I guess I'll speed it up a bit.
Now it's messy.
Now it's a bit cleaner. Now it's again,
now, yeah,
they
now,
think now we can take these two circles and put our support on the point, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess he opts to go hold the left side. They're just creating a line to zone. And this is what I'm talking about, how flankers are not so ideal for showing the circles. Because here, a flanker is going to try to threaten the circles rather than defend them. So here, as a DP, like if that was a Shaolin, he would definitely be with his Makoa here, and they would rush into Sunroom and play under the bridge with Makoa, you know? But here, instead, because he wants to just get in between their two circles as a flanker, but also make sure he has an escape route, he uses 3 dashes to get here. And it's pretty good because now they don't really have a safe area to retreat to. I guess they could go here, but if they pressure Sunroom right now, this also becomes dangerous. And Fusheko doesn't really know where to run. Do you get it?
Yeah.
And that's basically what the flanker does, just stays in the back. They pressure Sun. So it's nice. See, Fusheko just doesn't know where to run because of this Andro, knowing that these two, they were capping these two places, and just to go there. Oh, it gets messy a bit again. Just clean up, you know. Alright, so I think I'm gonna speed up now. They capped the point, and maybe we can go back later and talk about the push. So we'll see District 69 doing the same thing. I kind of like it because their tactic is, the way they play it is very reactionary. So you don't have to switch it up because you're only reacting to them, and they have to switch it up because it's like if you do the same thing, they'll expect it and they'll have the perfect answer for it because it's like right in their minds, and they just played it and were like, oh, I made a mistake there, so I won't make that mistake this time and I'll do something slightly different, you know?
Yes.
But these guys just have to improve their shot calling when the round is going. Alright. So,
Yeah, they're doing exactly the same.
yeah, these guys are doing the same, but here they're doing it different.
Yeah, Navi's doing it.
So, the only difference is Andro is on this side right now. They're still holding Sunroom with the Makoa. Makoa has a lot of kill potential by himself even, and can definitely hold the Sunroom very effectively. And the idea, what I think they're going to do, is try to get Andro. With 3 people here, you can pressure the connector very hard, and get Andro in his ideal position behind them. Where
we'll have to retreat somehow.
Yeah. So
and Makoa cannot hold against Androgos, and
no, Makoa definitely can't hold it, but he can
like
definitely
basically
stall them.
In theory at least, the way we did it with the circles, Barik will have to go to the position of Physico practically around there, and everybody just move 1 circle on the right.
That could work.
As they are right now, but go like hold Sunroom and the enemy braids behind.
Yep, that could definitely work. I think it's very dependent. So as Bugsy right now, you got to see what Thiel's decision is. If Thiel says, okay, there's not many people in Sunroom, I'm gonna pressure with Fisheko very hard and try to take this circle, then Bugsy should definitely come here. But that's why the 2 tanks have to look at each other a lot to see which circles that they're taking and make sure that they're next to each other, you know? Yeah. So basically what I was saying before, they put the Inara here instead of there now because they want to give Andro to run around. But it's not so worth it. Bugsy's still holding this side. Andro running here would just like get poked out by Bugsy, you know? So I don't think he'll stick here.
I think they messed it up.
Who messed it up? And what?
The 69.
Oh yeah, they did the worst of both worlds, you know. They didn't pressure Sunroom, they're getting zoned out by Makoa. It takes a lot of time for these guys to get here, you know. They have to flank all the way through. It takes a lot of time. These guys could have been
the enemy team is just already capping, and they have 2 people crippled on the right.
Yep.
And Physico, Drogos and Barik.
That's not a cripple. That's a ground.
Oh, sorry.
But whatever. But yeah. But this is basically like just by I feel like just
but still,
a
they
threat.
have half HP Fernando already.
Yeah.
That's getting pressured by Makoa and the Cassie from his left.
Yeah, I completely agree. They didn't respect the circles and they just walked back just because they were scared of this flank.
The problem, the problem
and then
like
they get
this is pretty obvious because basically they're getting 4v5s at the moment because Andrew is just waiting on his horse.
Yeah, Andrew hasn't even shot a bullet.
Around. Bugs is basically useless at the moment. He's basically.
Yeah. Andrew has so many options here. Andrew could run anywhere with his horse. He could go through the middle and go sun and pressure here. He could.
I think it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
If he just stays there and kinda aggresses the barrack to just keep him there.
Yep, that too.
While Makoa and Cassie and Inara are pushing from the other side, they're just winning.
Yeah, and they just got really good angles and got a kill there.
Yeah.
And that's a really good hook.
Now it's a broken zone, but I think Makoa is.
Yep. Yeah, it's just beautiful. But yeah, do you see the circles? Like, they pressure them back, they take the 2 offensive circles, and they're just stuck behind here.
And Motostina still on the horse. Like
still on the horse, yeah. But you should check out his damage in this game. It's very low, but he pressured the barrack all the way back here without even shooting a bullet. You know, that's fucking genius. But yeah, don't overextend. Hold your 2 tanks here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think literally it was a mistake from Drogos and mostly Barrick.
Yeah. Anyways,
just like he basically gave up the circle
Yeah.
freely.
Well, maybe he was like, oh, I can't fight 3 people, so he
No,
runs.
yeah,
He
but that
runs
is a joke.
back.
He should have went
But these
the
guys
other
should have
circle. So
pressured. Yeah, these guys
yeah,
should have
exactly.
pressured.
Yeah, I actually it's a combination of mistakes. Like,
Yeah, it's just a team movement thing. All right.
yeah, exactly.
So that was the second example of the circles. Let's stop.